Hello students, this is a short video to help you complete the orientation assignment. Your first stop is to go to Canvas and to watch the assignment support video and to go over the support notes. This will give you the sort of lecture and lecture notes that will help you get a framework for the data structure that we are going to be working on, and also guidance on how to complete the assignment. Now, the way most of the assignments in this class are set up is that you will be given a template with a lot of code written for you. The template will contain a lot of files. You do not need to write code from scratch, and you do not need to work on all those files. So again, there could be just a couple of files that you need to work on, couple of CPP files. And when you go through the template, you will see not just code, but a lot of comments on what is already written for you and what you need to do. The stuff that you need to do is in a comment called to do inside functions. And you simply need to go to those particular functions and plug in a few lines of code. So let's see how that needs to get done. But I wanted to point out that your first task would be to watch the support video, read through the support notes, go to the orientation assignment document, right? And then start coding by going straight to the template. You can also at any time skim through the template to get an idea of what is already provided to you. Now let's go to how to solve the orientation assignment, i.e. how to use the template. How can I use the template? Use the template. So now, the template contains, as I mentioned, a lot of structure and a lot of written code. And it also contains comments on where you need to plug the code. So in this document, we will go over where in the template do you need to insert the code and how to insert the code. Now you have been given a lot of files. The two files that you need to work on in this assignment are main.cpp and song.cpp. Now, where to insert the code in main.cpp? There are three functions. There are three functions in main that need to be filled. So if you look for to do, you will find the first function, which is called print. Here's what it looks like, and here are the comments that say to do. What do you need to do here? You need to write a couple of lines of code that print each element of each song from the dynamic array. The size that's given to you indicates how many songs you need to print. I will also walk you through some solutions, but initially I wanted to show you what these functions are and where you need to insert the code. Now, the second function is top 10. It's very similar to print. In fact, print top 10 will call print to print X number of songs. But print top 10 prints only 10 songs. So if you ask it to print 500 songs, it's still going to print only 10. So here is where you need to insert the code. The third function that you need to write in main is search a song. Now, what search a song does is it's given the database, which is a dynamic array of songs, and then it's given a size. So now, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be scanning. The to-do says you're going to be scanning, asking the user what title you are searching for, and then scanning the database to find the song. And now there's one last feature here which says return steps. What does this mean? Return steps indicates how many songs were searched till you either found the song or you went through the entire database and you could not find the song, right? So steps contain some intelligence about how much effort was involved in searching the song. And this is important for us in our complexity analysis to know how much work did this algorithm do to find the piece of information that you're looking for. Now, I will again also go through how to write the solutions for this. Then we come to song.cpp. Again, song.cpp has three functions that need to be filled. One is the custom constructor. The default constructor has been given to you already. Then get the chart position, i.e. return the chart position, and return the title. Okay? So I will again now go over how to fill in those lines of code that you need to complete the solution. All right, so here we have, so let's go start with main.cpp. The first function in main.cpp is to write the print function. So when you see to do, here's where you insert the code. What is the function supposed to do? It's supposed to traverse this database, right, and print n songs, and that information is given in size. So for example, if you pass the number 5, then it's going to print 5 songs. So therefore, because we have size here, what we need to have is like a for loop. And so what I'm doing here is I'm using a for loop to go through this database and print the song. How do I do that? I've just set up a loop here for I is equal to 0, I less than size, and I just use the cout feature of C++ to print data array I. Now know that this is a dynamic array. So a dynamic array is an array which contains pointers to the song. And now here I'm just accessing each element of the dynamic array. The one thing you need to know is that this double pointer indicates that this is a pointer to an array of pointers. And know that ultimately this is just an array and you can access it by indexing the element of the array. Now this seems very simple that it should work like this, but know that, and I would also like you to go into song.cpp and see how I have overloaded this extraction operator so that it works on the objects inside the array. This is one piece of learning that I'd like you to do. Please go to song.cpp and look at the solution that's provided to you for overloading the operator. So the next function, print top 10. Print top 10, we just give a little banner here, and then because we are only supposed to print 10, I'm first checking to see if the incoming size is less than 10. If it is, then I call this print function that we've just written, and it will print those number of songs. If it is greater than 10, I still print only 10. So that's why we needed to have an if-else clause here. This function is not super complicated. It just calls the print function with the required size. Now, the third function in the main is search a song. Now here, what we're doing is we are we ask the user which title you're searching for and read the title from the user. Now, what we are going to do here is we would need to do this in a loop. So you need to have a kind of for loop here, which says for integer I is equal to 0, I less than size, I plus plus. Do this thing in the loop. What are we doing in the loop here? We are looking at the ith element and comparing the title by getting the title of that object and comparing it with the title that the user has given. Now here I'm using the C++ string function called compare to compare the two titles. So if, for example, the user gave, I don't know, Blue Shark, and that's the title of the song, then you compare it with the title in your database at the ith position. And if they are the same, i.e. compare return 0, then say song found, print the song, and return steps. Now note that the return is actually returning the number of steps that are taken in this effort. What is the meaning of this? This means I found this song at the 10th position in my database, or the 500th position in my database, or 199th position in the database. So this steps just helps us keep track of the effort, or how many attempts, or how many items in the database did I inspect till I found the song that I was searching for. It may also happen that we may not find the song. So if at the end of the loop we have not returned, it means we have not found the song, and therefore we are just going to say song not found. Now note here that somewhere here I'm going to also do something like steps plus plus, because I need to increment the number of steps. So this is how I will set up this loop here, right? And at the end of it, I will just say song not found and return steps, right? Now, this is maybe not necessary. Return the steps. What are the other, now I have completed my work with main.cpp. So if you are able to use this information and plug these lines of code into main.cpp, your task for that file is done. Now, what needs to be done for song.cpp? This is even simpler. In song.cpp, we have to write the custom constructor. Now, as we know, the song class file contains title, singer, and chart position. This is what a song looks like. So therefore, what we need to do is something like this: arrow title equals title, and then this arrow singer is equal to singer, and this arrow. Now here my Microsoft is making this uppercase, but you know that when you write it in your IDE, this will not be the case, is equal to chart position. And that's that. That's the end of the custom constructor. Now, what do we need to insert here? The to do, all this says, when you say change this, all you need to do is return chart position. And here, all you need to do is return title. So what do you need to do? All you need to is return the title. And I'm going to get you to complete that. Now, so once again, here are the two files, main.cpp. We don't need to touch any other part except, you see that everything is here. The print song that we just went over, the print tops 10 songs that we just went over, search song that we just went over, and the song.cpp, which is creates the song objects. We wrote the custom constructor, and then we wrote the get chart position, and we also wrote the get title. So none of these other functions need to be touched. They're already written for you. But I would strongly encourage you to go through the template to understand how these functions work, because you will be using these functions over and over again and building on top of that.